Ну что, посмотрим, во что нам вылился вылет, который случился в прошлый раз. Я надеюсь, что сейчас запустится просто следующая кат-сцена. Типа, как будто ничего и не было. Хотя можно, конечно, и заново пройти эту миссию по защите убежища, потому что я там спасла не всех. Ну, хотя вряд ли она запустится с этого момента. Да, действительно. Она сохранилась где-то на середине, наверное, квеста. Окей, сейчас тогда будем просто бычить на корифея, потому что почему бы и нет. Тут даже не было ни одного боя, просто интенсивное наведение трибушета. Да, мы все это видели, можно пропустить. Ага, 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 ага.
Pretender, you toy with forces beyond your ken, no more.
Бычим.
Words mortals often hurl into darkness. Once they were mine. No,
Бычим.
no, exalt the Elder One. You will kneel.
You'll get nothing out of me.
You will resist. You will always I am here.
Ага, ну короче, мы бычим, он особо ничего нового не говорит, он просто такой... патетик. Типа... Бля, он такой неинтересный, типа... Еще в первый раз это было довольно скучно. Типа он все время повторяет одно и то же. Он типа, о, какая ты жалкая, ты должна умереть. Ага, если я умру, то не сегодня. Что мы говорим Богу смерти? Не сегодня. Ну, блин, это самая скучная сцена с злодеем, которая только могла быть. Отлично, у нее еще и голова сквозь медь прошла. Просто... Все, я сегодня очень устала на работе, поэтому я злюсь. Злая, когда злюсь. Ага, и снова мы упали. Интересно, сейчас-то нормально все будет или снова ошибка? Блокиров очка. Не, вроде все нормально. Так. И что будет теперь, после того, как мы чуть не сдохли? На самом деле это ужасно. Я говорю, как какая-нибудь мамаша, типа «мы». Кто мы? Это Далила там рискует жизнью. О, мы сами сейчас будем... Да, придется выбираться самим, ну отлично. Ладно. Тут ничего нет. Типа... Я что-то не вижу, откуда мы там свалились, типа... Я вижу камень. О, еще отлично, мы просто ходим. С одной стороны, это логично, потому что мы только что упали с большой высоты, с другой стороны, она не прихрамывает, она тупо ходит, покачивая бедрами, и теперь она побежала, ну конечно. 3 секунд так достаточно, чтобы оправиться. И это... вот теперь Ясно. И... Да, то есть... А нельзя было сделать нормально, чтобы, типа, мы не могли бежать, чтобы она все время держалась за живот, нет? Что вон там? Я еще ничего не вижу, ты уже орешь вон там. Типа выход, ну так сказала бы выход. Что там? Что там-то? Господи, как вы будете орать? О, прикольно, это мне нравится. И мы типа можем пойти в разные стороны. Прикольно. Уи! Это мне напоминает сцену из Мулан. Типа, сейчас из-под снега должны начать выбираться красные лириумные храмовники. Окей, тупо идем на метку задания сквозь бурю. Против бури, против ветра. Возможно, стоило бы вернуться в пещеру. Типа, нет, то есть тут будут просто переходы. Окей, тут будут просто переходы, типа, столько времени прошло, ой-ой-ой, мы столько бредем тут. Лучше бы просто дали нам пройти этот путь. Это было бы лучше, мне кажется. Восхитительно. Не думаю, что нас ищут, потому что, скорее всего, сейчас люди все еще переправляются, типа ищут убежище, тут такая буря, они решили, нет, это слишком опасно, сука, тут волки воют. От лука сейчас не будет толку, при таком ветре, мне кажется, это бесполезно совершенно стрелять. Хоп, хоп. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту-ту. Я бы не стала прикрывать глаза рукой с меткой, она может взорваться в конце концов. Окей, вот это было неплохо, но... Блин, не, знаете, на самом деле я предпочла бы пройти весь этот путь. Я понимаю, что они сделали так, чтобы это сократить, то есть, чтобы тебе не пришлось бродить столько времени. А с другой стороны, я думаю, блин, а это было бы классно. То есть, когда случаются такие вот переходы, это как-то странно. А так ты идешь, и ты осознаешь реально, что персонаж устал. Недавно стыли. Окей. Я представляю, как мы сейчас появляемся, и все такие: вау, вау, ты жива? Серьезно? Мы все думали, ты умерла, и одной проблемы меньше. Да давай, давай. Если уж тебя волки не сожрали за все это время, ну... О, вижу лагерь. Лагерь. Хе. Вы таки меня искали. Как мило. Ну, лагерь, судя по всему, небольшой, и это неудивительно.
What would you have me tell them? This isn't what we asked them to do.
We cannot simply ignore this. We must find a way.
And who put you in charge? We need a consensus or we have nothing.
Please, we must use reason. Without the infrastructure of the Inquisition, we're
I
hobbled.
can't come from nowhere.
She didn't say it could.
Enough! This is getting us nowhere.
Well, we're agreed on that much.
Shh. You need rest.
They've been at it for hours.
They have that luxury thanks to you. The enemy could not follow, and with time to doubt, we turn to blame. Infighting may threaten as much as this Corypheus.
Do we know where Corypheus and his forces are?
We are not sure where we are. Which may be why, despite the numbers he still commands, there is no sign of him. That, or you are believed dead. Or without Haven, we are thought helpless. Or he girds for another attack. I cannot claim to know the mind of that creature, only his effect on us.
If they're arguing about what we do next, I need to be there.
Another heated voice won't help. Even yours. Perhaps especially yours. Our leaders struggle because of what we survivors witnessed. We saw our defenders stand and fall. And now we have seen her return. The more the enemy is beyond us, the more miraculous your actions appear, and the more our trials seem ordained. That is hard to accept, no? What we have been called to endure, what we perhaps must come to believe.
Знаете что, мне кажется, я вот даже не знаю, может, с этого момента стоит начать...
You saw Corypheus.
перестать отрицать, что это предназначение.
Scripture says magisters to winter servants of false-souled gods entered the Fade to reach the Golden City, seat of the Maker. For their crime, they were cast out as darkspawn. Their hubris is why we suffer blight, and why the Maker turned from us. If such is the claim of this Corypheus, he is a monster beyond imagining. All mankind continues to suffer for that sin. If even a shred of it is true, all the more reason Andraste would choose someone to rise against him.
I escaped the avalanche. Barely, perhaps, but I didn't die.
Of course, and the dead cannot return from across the veil. But the people know what they saw. Or perhaps what they needed to see. The Maker works both in the moment and in how it is remembered. Can we truly know the heavens are not with us?
Mother Giselle, I just don't see how what I believe matters. Lies or not, Corypheus is a real physical threat. We can't match that with hope alone.
Все такие грустные сидят.
Shadows fall and hope has fled. Still your heart, the dawn will come. The night is long and the path is dark. Look to the sky for one day soon. The dawn will come. The shepherd's lost, and his home is far. Keep to the stars, the dawn will come. The night is long, and the path is dark.
О, поющий Калин.
army needs more than an enemy. It needs a cause.
A word. A wise woman, worth heeding. Her kind understand the moments that unify a cause. Or fracture it. The orb Corypheus carried, the power he used against you, it is elven.
Corypheus used the orb to open the breach. Unlocking it must have caused the explosion that destroyed the Conclave. I do not yet know how Corypheus survived. Nor am I certain how people will react when they learn of the orb's origin.
All right. What is it and how do you know about it?
They were foci, used to channel ancient magics. I have seen such things in the Fade, old memories of older magic. Corypheus may think it Devinter. His empire's magic was built on the bones of my people. Knowing or not, he risks our alliance. I cannot allow it.
This whole mess is confusing. I can see how elves might be an easy target.
History would agree. But there are steps we can take to prevent such a distraction. By attacking the Inquisition, Corypheus has changed it. Changed you. Scout to the north. Be their guide. There is a place that waits for a force to hold it. There is a place where the Inquisition can build, grow.
They arrive daily from every settlement in the region. Skyhold is becoming a pilgrimage. If word has reached these people, it will have reached the Elder One. We have the walls and numbers to put up a fight here, but this threat is far beyond the war we anticipated. But we now know what allowed you to stand against Corypheus. What drew him to you?
He came for this, and now it's useless to him, so he wants me dead. That's it.
The Anchor has power, but it's not why you're still standing here. Your decisions let us heal the sky. Your determination brought us out of Haven. You are the creature's rival because of what you did. And we know it. All of us. The Inquisition requires a leader. The one who has already been leading it.
Страшно. Страшно, врубай.
You.
It's unanimous. You all have that much confidence in me.
All of these people have their lives because of you. They will follow.
That wasn't the question.
I will not lie. Handing this power to anyone is troubling. But I have to believe this is meant to be. There would be no Inquisition without you. How it will serve, how you lead, that must be yours to decide.
Corypheus will never let me live in peace. He made that clear. He intends to be a god, to rule over us all. Corypheus must be stopped.
Wherever you lead us.
Have our people been told? They have. And soon, the world. Commander, will they follow?
Inquisition, will you follow?
Yeah.
Fight!
Yeah.
Will we triumph?
Yeah. Давай, меч к небу.
Your herald, your inquisitor!
Инквизитор, как будут говорить в Орлее. О, Орлей. Жози. Просто милашка. О, да. Наша крепость. Порядок, правда, не помешает навести, но начало хорошее.
So this is where it begins.
Наш трон.
It began in the courtyard. This is where we turned that promise into action.
But what do? We know nothing about this Corypheus except that he wanted your mark.
Corypheus wants to restore Tevinter. Is this a prelude to war with the Imperium?
I get the feeling we're dealing with extremists, not the vanguard of a true invasion.
Tevinter is not the Imperium of 1,000 years ago. What Corypheus yearns to restore no longer exists. Though they would shed no tears if the South fell to chaos, I'm certain.
Corypheus said he wanted to enter the Black City, that this would make him a god.
He is willing to tear this world apart to reach the next. It won't matter if he's wrong.
What if he's not wrong? If he finds some other way into the Fade?
Then he gains the power he seeks, or unleashes catastrophe on us all.
Could his dragon really be an archdemon? What would that mean?
It would mean the beginning of another blight.
We've seen no Darkspawn other than Corypheus himself. Perhaps it's not an archdemon at all, but something different?
Whatever it is, it's dangerous. Commanding such a creature gives Corypheus an advantage we can't ignore.
Someone out there must know something about Corypheus.
Unless they saw him on the field, most will not believe he even exists.
We do have one advantage. We know what Corypheus intends to do next. In that strange future you experienced, Empress Celine had been assassinated.
Imagine the chaos her death would cause. With his army.
An army he'll bolster with a massive force of demons, or so the future tells us.
Corypheus could conquer the entire south of Thedas, god or no god.
I'd feel better if we knew more about what we were dealing with.
I know someone who can help with that.
Варик.
Everyone acting all inspirational jogged my memories. I sent a
Да,
message
сейчас
to an old
появится
friend.
Хоук. Ну или не
He's
сейчас, но
crossed paths
попозже.
with Corypheus before and may know more about what he's doing. He can help.
I'm always looking for new allies. Introduce me.
О, сейчас?
Parading around might cause a fuss. It's better for you to meet privately on the battlements.
Ура, ура.
Trust me, it's complicated.
Хо-хо-хо. Да, я помню, как проходило это
We stand ready to
дополнение.
move on both of these concerns.
On your order, Inquisitor.
I know one thing. If Varric has brought who I think he has, Cassandra is going to kill him.
This is the Inquisition. A dusty old ruin filled with barbarian soldiers.
If you shut your mouth and opened your eyes, you'd see that the Inquisition is our one hope.
Быстрый переход. О, подвал. Окей.
Now, what did...
Да блин.
Where's my other hand? Right there.
И чё, мы можем с ним поговорить? Хорошо.
I've walked away from too many burning buildings for one lifetime. This place, though, it'll be all right. It's Inquisitor now, isn't it? That'll take some getting used to.
You think it's strange to say. It's stranger to hear.
Don't let it go to your head. We need you level. Everyone just got a big, hard reason to hate Corypheus. And we already did, but we didn't have a name. You're the surprise, not him.
We left in a hurry, but you got into your old place. Save anything?
Family hammer. It's as stupid as it sounds. It's good to be back at work.
How is this place shaping up as a forge?
Better than Haven ever could be. Not the way I wanted an upgrade, but ever forward.
Have you any thoughts about the people we lost at Haven?
Flisser. So sad. Too young. The rest of us go on. It's what we have to do. You gave us the chance. Thanks for that.
You've got it all up and running.
Your basics, like always. There's space here for, I don't know what. This place was built for something big. It'll be a job to fill it.
I'll be back later.
I'll be here.
Ну нет, пусть остается Инквизиция, все остальное, типа, это было бы странно выбрать чью-то другую символику, типа, ну может быть еще вольную марку, но не. Церковь тоже пока не стоит. Вольная марка. Декорации Парвалена просто... Ам. Окей. Так. Очки есть? Нет очков. О, погоди, там появилась специализация. Наконец-то. Ага, то есть у нас теперь есть... Классно. Надо будет выучить. Я, возможно, даже включу отображение шляп. Да, черт побери. Так. Где тут улучшение оружия? Замечательно. Даже не знаю. Наконец-то я могу хранить все, что мне не нужно пока. Главное не забывать заходить и проверять. Так, окей. Дальше.
I've made some inquiries into the Imperial Court. The sooner we deal with the threats to the Empress, the better. The political situation in the Empire is dangerously unstable. It will complicate matters.
Everything in the Empire complicates matters. It's the Orlesian national pastime.
Turn your nose up at the grand game if you like, Commander, but we play for the highest stakes, and to the death.
The Court's disapproval can be as great a threat as the Venatori. We must be vigilant to avert disaster.
Don't worry, Josephine. We'll protect the Empress no matter what.
I pray you're right. If your vision of the future comes to pass, the death of the Empress heralds the destruction of everything. Orlais holds Tevinter at bay. All of Thedas could be lost if the Empire falls to Corypheus. Celine is holding peace talks under the auspices of a grand masquerade. Every power in Orlais will be there. It's the perfect place for an assassin to hide.
A grand masquerade? I need to go shopping.
We don't have enough sway with the court to arrange an invitation. Perhaps a few more alliances.
Or soldiers.
We need a greater presence in Orlais. And soon. Inquisitor, I was just inspecting our new headquarters. Foundation cracks, nesting animals, and miles from any centers of civilization. The staff must make it presentable if we're to receive any visitors of distinction.
It certainly wouldn't do for the Inquisition to appear overly shabby.
We've only just now convinced everyone we are precisely what Thedas requires. The mages are showing great trust in me. They need to feel safe here.
Do you not feel safe here?
I've had difficulty forgetting Corypheus' attack on Haven. Do you know who first leapt to arms? Our workers. They were so proud of our cause. Corypheus simply cut them down. So much screaming after that first blast of fire. So many people turned to ash.
We lost far too many good people to that monster.
I'm sure they'll find rest with the Maker. Well, before I return to my duties, allow me to congratulate you on your appointment as Inquisitor, my lady. I will now bring diplomatic issues to your attention, and I'm more than happy to help with any situations that arise.
I'm loath to part from such pleasant company. Would you care to walk the castle with me?
Oh, well, a tour then? Let me fetch the steward.
That isn't precisely what I was hoping for.
Well, do let me know if you change your mind. Now I must find someone to prepare the guest quarters.
Окей. Так. Значит, нам надо... пройти через офис Жозефины, чтобы попасть на военный совет. О боже, сколько всего! Надо было пройтись по всем локациям, которые были доступны.
My scouts report no signs of danger in the pass nearby.
I will arrange patrols to ensure it stays that way.
Угу.
Let's see what we have. Явно надо было пройти все до того, как закрывать главную брешь. Не, мы подождем Каллина.
At your service.
Так, окей. Посмотрим, что... А, нет, сначала закончим здесь. Что еще есть? Погоди, скетч? Окей, нам нужно будет обойти все локации, которые мы открыли до закрытия завесы, потому что, по сути, мы закончили только с внутренними землями, и то не полностью. О, господи. На самом деле получается, что игра довольно быстро, мне кажется, проходится. То есть, если ты особо не отвлекаешься и выполняешь только основные задачи и те, которые помогут набрать влияние достаточно, то Так. Окей, сначала мы обойдем Скайхолд. Минуточку. Окей. Так, что там у нас по заданиям? Сколько всего? Угу. Ладно.
What was this place? So much room for whatever was here.
Greetings.
I need to know more about Corypheus.
We spoke of this on our travels to Skyhold. What more can I tell you? Cassandra and Varric seem more familiar with their adversary.
You're a mage. You studied the Breach. And you seem to have some idea how a bastard like this might think.
I'm flattered. I claim no secret wisdom, but I will guess as best I can.
I would like to know more about the orb he carries.
As I said, that must be the means by which he created the Breach. I suspect the blast that destroyed the Conclave was more accident than anything. The result of unlocking power that had sought release for ages. What I cannot understand is how he managed to survive such an explosion.
You said that you believed the orb is elven.
I never would have believed a Devinter mage could unlock such a powerful relic. It clearly enhances his abilities. Giving him access to power he should never have known.
Like the power to control the Archdemon.
Indirectly, one assumes. Nothing in any law connects my people to the old god dragons who became archdemons.
What do you think Corypheus will do next?
You shamed him when you destroyed Haven. Spoiled his glorious victory. It would be worse to acknowledge that you had done so. He must continue on his course or show weakness. He will return to his plans to throw Olay into chaos, and then conquer it for Devinter.
You're sure that's what he'll do?
As certain as is possible. Assuming I can plausibly predict a man who seeks to rise to godhood.
And can you?
The key is understanding this. No real god need prove himself. Anyone who tries is mad or lying. His deception will undo him, as it has done countless fools before.
What can you tell me about the source of Corypheus's power?
According to the law, the ancient Magistars of Devinter received guidance from the old gods. Corypheus commands a false archdemon, a corrupted old god. This suggests he no longer sees himself as their minion. Some of his unique power comes from the corruption of the Blight. The rest may come from the orb he carries.
I'm interested in what you told me of yourself in your studies. If you have time, I'd like to hear more.
You continue to surprise me. All right, let us talk. Preferably somewhere more interesting than this.
Это звучало как подкат, который обычно делает сам Инквизитор. Типа, более интересное место. На самом деле, я очень хочу потом сделать чувака-мага, который тупо не будет ни о чем спрашивать Солоса. И потом, ну, хотя бы ради того, что в дополнении можно будет ответить ему, ну, он там спросит, типа, наверное, у тебя есть вопросы, и если ты его ни о чем не спрашивал до этого, то можно ему ответить, типа, я хоть когда-нибудь о чем-нибудь тебя спрашивал вообще? Ты думаешь, мне сейчас будет что-то интересно? И это потрясающе. Хотя, конечно... В смысле?
Why here?
Haven is familiar. It will always be important to you.
Ага, и она в этой пижаме.
I sat beside you while you slept, studying the anchor.
How long can it take to look at a mark on my hand?
A magical mark of unknown origin? Tied to a unique breach in the veil? Longer than you might think. I ran every test I could imagine. Searched the Fade, yet found nothing. Cassandra suspected duplicity. She threatened to have me executed as an apostate if I didn't produce results.
I would never have agreed to that.
You were in no position to argue. You were never going to wake up? How could you? A mortal sent physically through the Fade. I was frustrated, frightened. The spirits I might have consulted had been driven away by the breach. Although I wished to help, I had no faith in Cassandra, or she in me. I was ready to flee.
Еще прикольно, что когда играешь за эльфийку и у тебя роман с Солосом, можно дать ему пощечину. Хотя многие, конечно, предпочли бы кинуть ему в рожу каменный кулак.
If you'd run, Cassandra would have been certain of your guilt. She'd have hunted you down.
You are likely right. I told myself, one more attempt to seal the rifts.
И брешь при этом открыта.
No ordinary magic would affect them. I watched the rifts expand.
Это странно.
Resigned myself to flee, and then...
Или это типа... Это как воспоминание?
It seems you hold the key to our salvation. You had sealed it with a gesture. And right then...
Я не понимаю, что происходит.
It was that impressive to see me awake.
You had walked in the Fade. I have explored the Fade more than anyone alive. But even I can only visit in dreams. But you might have been able to visit me here while awake.
What do you mean?
Where do you think we were?
Да, это типа сна. Конечно.
That's a matter of debate. Probably best discussed after you wake up.
Ха! Я так и знала, слишком много несостыковок. Типа, убежище же завалило, он в броне, а мы в пижаме. Я надеюсь, нас вернут в ту комнату, потому что... Но, блин, это было классно само по себе. Интересно, а такое можно проделать с гномом? Типа, гномы же не видят снов. Или метка так повлияет, что, типа, этот гном может видеть сны? Типа... Так много вопросов. Но чтобы проверить, может ли гном это увидеть, мне нужно будет создать еще одного гнома, который все-таки будет спрашивать. Оу. Уже можно. Вау. А отсюда можно спрыгнуть. И там что-то есть, типа. Нет, туда нельзя спрыгнуть. Ладно. Ага. То есть мы поспали и все так. Ну... Неплохо. Окей, здесь пока ничего. Только совы. Жаль, поиграть нельзя. О, сад. Прикольно. Нет, еще не прибрались.
Greetings to you, Inquisitor. I am to serve as assistant to any research concerns. You'll find my skills are exceptional. I hope they prove useful.
You're taking over the duties of Maeve?
Yes. She said she was needed elsewhere and that I should serve the Inquisition to the best of my ability.
What is she doing?
I wasn't told.
You were made tranquil.
Yes, I am tranquil. It was necessary due to a willful nature that made wielding magic a dangerous endeavor. I remember that being a difficult time, but I cannot remember why. My skills are well used in my current position.
How can you serve the Inquisition?
I am to aid in the research of all creatures encountered in your efforts as leader of the Inquisition.
What makes you particularly qualified?
I remember being fond of animals. I don't remember why.
What is your evaluation of how we're doing?
Adequate, based on a partial improvements to Skyhold.
As you were?
Yes, Inquisitor.
Sleep well?
I've never done anything like that before. Do you regularly talk to people in dreams?
No. Consider that one more rule you have effortlessly broken in your rise to power. I had no idea that the anchor would allow you to dream with such focus. It is truly remarkable. But I am reasonably certain we are awake now. And if you wish to discuss anything, I would enjoy talking.
I'd like to hear more about what you saw in your exploration of the Fade.
I would be happy to share it with you.
Tell me about the old ruins you explored.
I found the ruin of Barandur, a lost Tevinter city buried deep beneath a dead and barren wasteland. Volcanic ash had sealed it tight. In one dark moment, every living creature in the city seared and smothered. They were statues in the ashes, like a mold made to recall the lost.
Tell me about a spirit you encountered.
I met a friendly spirit who observed the dreams of village girls as love first blossomed in their adolescence. With subtlety, she steered them all to village boys with gentle hearts, who would return their love with gentle kindness. The matchmaker, so I called her. That small village never knew its luck.
Tell me about the old memories you found in the Fade.
I saw a savage human horde go marching toward the battlefront. They sang a soldier's hymn to keep formation. Primal music shook the ground. These savage, unwashed warriors carried harmonies no chantry choirs mastered. Though their cause was all but hopeless, they sang songs that made the spirits weep.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Кедриан.
One moment you're trying to restore order in a world gone mad. That should be enough for anyone to handle, yes? Then, out of nowhere, an archdemon appears and kicks you in the head. What? You thought this would be easy? No, I was just hoping you wouldn't crush our village like an anthill. Sorry about that. Archdemons like to crush, you know. Can't be helped. Am I speaking too quickly for you?
I was distracted. That's all.
Distracted? By my wit and charm? I have plenty of both.
Today, at least.
Oh, you wound me. I always assumed the Elder One behind the Venatori was a Magister. But this is something else completely. In Tevinter, they say the Chantry's tales of Magisters starting the Blight are just that. Tales. But here we are. One of those very Magisters. A dark spawn.
Who does the Imperium say started the Blight?
You know how it is. Not us. They say Darkspawn were always there. Magisters and the Blight aren't even related. Is that a surprise? No one wants to admit they shit the bed. But if Corypheus is one of the Magisters who entered the Black City and he's Darkspawn, what other explanation is there?
We only know what Corypheus claims to be.
True. He might be a convincing liar, or delusional, or insane. But how many delusional maniacs are going to have that knowledge? He broke open the Fade. I knew what I was taught couldn't be the whole truth, but I assumed there had to be a kernel of it, somewhere. But no. It was us all along. We destroyed the world.
Last I checked, the Blights hadn't actually destroyed the world.
Not for lack of trying. If they were more clever, they'd have unleashed something that would really do the job. No one will thank me, whatever happens. No one will thank you either. You know that, yes?
That's not why I'm doing this.
I knew there was something clever about you. All I know is this. Corypheus needs to be stopped. Men like him ruined my homeland. I won't stand by and let him ruin the world. Oh, and congratulations on that whole leading the Inquisition thing, by the way.
Anything interesting?
A letter regarding Felix, Alexius' son. He went to the Magisterium, stood on the Senate floor and told them of you. A glowing testimonial, I'm informed. No news on the reaction, but everyone back home is talking. Felix always was as good as his word.
Was?
He's dead. The Blight caught up with him.
It's barely been any time at all. Was he so ill?
Honestly, he should have died a long time ago. Alexius was using magic to keep him alive. Felix used to sneak me treats from the kitchens when I was working late in his father's study. Don't get into trouble on my behalf, I tell him. I like trouble, he'd say. Tevinter could use more mages like him. Those who put the good of others above themselves.
Were the two of you...
Felix and I? What an odd question. No. I had no intention of abusing Alexius's hospitality by seducing his son. Not that I've been proper my whole life, by any means. It wasn't like that. Even in illness, Felix was the best of us. With him around, you knew things could be better.
You make it sound like he was a better person than you.
What a mad thing to say. Few people are better than I. Very well, a better person, clearly, not nearly as handsome. Thankfully, Felix wasn't the only decent sword kicking around Thedas. The Inquisitor's work is never done, I see.
You said Alexius was a mentor of yours.
He was my patron, sponsoring me to the higher levels of the Circle of Magi. In return, my successes were his. I had a lot of successes, naturally. Alexius was most pleased. He and I used to talk over brandy about the corruption, how we could one day make real change in the Imperium. And then he gave up. He stopped trying.
Why did he give up?
On a journey to Hosburg, a Darkspawn raid killed his wife and sickened his son. I remember hearing the news. He hadn't been there, you see. Alexius was convinced he could have protected them. The guilt tore him up. I helped him with his research for a while, and then we drifted apart.
That must have been difficult.
Back then, I was furious. I told him to snap out of it, move on. I thought I had all the answers. Later, I regretted my hasty words. But we didn't speak again until he approached me for the Venatori. Too much pride, I suppose. Plus, I was busy drinking. One must have priorities.
I don't think that's it. You felt guilty because you couldn't help him.
Clever you. I had a choice, you see. Wallow in self-pity or get away while I could. At any rate, he's fallen so low, I doubt he'll ever get up. Sad, really.
I should go.
Here I thought we were just getting to the good part.
Это что только что было?
Greetings, Inquisitor. That is your title now, yes? I should thank you. The way things ended in Redcliffe, you could have demanded anything you wished. Yet you chose to make us equal partners. I was not expecting that.
You rebelled for good reason.
I'm pleased to hear you say that, Inquisitor. I've been a Grey Warden, Grand Enchanter, leader of a rebellion, and now I am none of those things. Odd where fate takes you, as you're no doubt well aware.
You were once a Grey Warden.
Mine is an unusual circumstance, Inquisitor. Normally one is part of the Order until death, but long ago I found myself stripped of what made me a Warden. They tried to reinitiate me, but nothing worked. Nor could they figure out how it happened. So I was sent to the Circle of Magi, the first Warden ever to be kicked out. Quite the achievement.
You sound happy about it.
Becoming a warden seemed like a dream when I was first conscripted. Towards the end, however, my brothers and sisters, they felt I had somehow cheated death. I was glad to leave. It also made me unique in the circle. I had an opportunity to do more than I ever could as a warden.
You mean you began the Mage Rebellion?
I pushed for our vote to free the circles of Magi. But I cannot claim sole responsibility for what followed. Still, despite all the chaos, I would do it again. What happened had to happen.
You're not still the Grand Enchanter then?
Any claim I had to the title ended along with the circles of Magi, although some still call me by it. Perhaps the circles will one day be resurrected. If so, another will take the position. Until that time, I lead my fellow mages by default. I will do what I can for them.
You believe they'll recreate the Circle of Magi after all this?
It depends on who the next divine is, and what she offers. We can't go back to the way things were. But endless warfare benefits no one. That is why I agreed to Justinia's conclave. There must be another solution.
I've been meaning to ask, how exactly did the Venatori take control in Redcliffe?
Mages constantly found their way to us while we were there. Stragglers, most of them strangers. I had no way of knowing some were actually Tevinter. They spread whispers, encouraged talk of an alliance, and we were desperate. I'm not proud of our choice, but we were certain Templars were coming. It could have ended far worse.
I trust everything is well with the mages.
Most are pleased with the alliance, even if we wonder what will happen next.
I'll leave you to it.
My Lady Inquisitor, it's good of you to speak with me. I have news regarding one of your companions, the Tevinter.
Has Dorian done something wrong?
No, thankfully. It's nothing like that. I have been in contact with his family. House Pavas, out of Carenas. Are you familiar with them?
Familiar? We've never met, if that's what you're suggesting.
I'm suggesting nothing. I'm only curious whether you know of his situation. The family sent a letter describing the estrangement from their son and pleading for my aid. They've asked to arrange a meeting quietly without telling him. They fear it's the only way he'll come. Since you seem to be on good terms with the young man, I'd hoped...
Just what kind of meeting do they have in mind?
I believe they just want to talk, to understand why Dorian felt he had to come here. Somewhat private, away from Skyhold, but not in Tevinter. You make them nervous, I think. They don't understand why he's here with the Inquisition. They want him to come home.
What happens if Dorian doesn't agree?
Hopefully that will be the end of it. If not, well, that's why you should be there.
Why would his family contact you?
Because they don't know you, Inquisitor. I am not of the Imperial Chantry, but they know what I represent. These are parents concerned about the welfare of their son. How could I not do whatever possible? I would speak to the young man myself, but he does not care for me. Thus I come to you. If any good can come of this, we must try.
They don't want Dorian to know. That seems odd.
They believe the young man would refuse, and the letter implies he'd have cause. Yet, they are remorseful for whatever came before. This is a chance for dialogue. There is deceit in bringing the young man to this meeting without his foreknowledge, I know. But does it not lead to a greater kindness if there is potential for reconciliation?
Are you sure this isn't some kind of trap? I mean, the secrecy...
That did occur to me. What if it is a plot of those mages, the Venatori? Another reason to put this in your hands, Inquisitor. I pray that isn't the case. But if it is, you are far better equipped than I to respond to such treachery.
If you think I'm going to trick Dorian into meeting his family...
I feared you might say that. The family will send a retainer to meet the young man at the Red Cliff Tavern, to take him onward. If he truly does not wish this reunion, he can always end the matter there. I pray you change your mind, Inquisitor. Perhaps their letter will persuade you. If there is any chance of success in this, it behooves us to act.
Committed to independence, I hear. Shame.
I know.
A way with words, too.
Shame.
Hello, Inquisitor. Honored to help with these, whatever they are. Honored, Inquisitor. Gotzi Sturhall. Did my part on the walls. Now I'm on this strange collection you've brought us. Don't know its worth to the fight, exactly, but it's good workmanship.
Where did you learn your skills?
Orzammar. Carved a few statues in my day. And before you ask, yes, I chose to leave. I carved a paragon who turned out to be a sodding madwoman. Couldn't stand looking at it. The memory of a dwarf, right?
Any ideas about the origins of these reliefs?
To Vinter, early. It's in the tool marks, the grain. That's hard dust mined from the 100 Pillars, if I know anything. Oh, I suppose the scene is probably full of Tevinter robes, too.
The 100 Pillars?
Damnedest things. Massive spires that aren't stone. It's like a mortar. Don't know more than that. Strong, though.
Do you have insight into the stories these tiles are supposed to depict?
Tell you what. You finish one, and I'll write it up. Who better, right? A good dwarven perspective.
Another time.
Best of the vein, Inquisitor.
Thank you for Haven. Less so for Redcliffe, but I am committed to serve your worship.
Fertile ground even here. This hold has everything.
Inquisitor, Elan Vemar. Honored to represent the College of Herbalists and offer my services as apothecary. My colleague Adan was clear about the worth of your cause. I look forward to assisting him.
I look forward to working with you.
And are you? I wasn't sure what to think of you people, but recent events have put those doubts to bed. All the mundane needs of Skyhold will be well tended. If you note anything special, let me know. I'm here to serve the cause we must.
Thanks for my life in Haven. You've all sorts serving now. If that means change, so be it.
О, привет. А тут никого и нет, кроме меня. Так.
Haven was a cock-up, Herald, Inquisitor. But you did right by me, and others. We'll pay you back.
Ага, Хоук. Где? Угу. Никогда. Вас ждет 100-500 часов прохождения Инквизиции. О да, о да.
Inquisitor, meet Hawk, the champion of Kirkwall.
Though I don't use that title much anymore.
Интересно, какой это Хоук.
Inquisitor. I figured you might have some friendly advice about Corypheus. You and I did fight him, after all.
Какой-то хмурый, видимо. Стоят такие, нахмурились.
I had a balcony that overlooked the whole city. I loved it at first. But after a while, all I could see were the people out there depending on me.
You heard about Haven?
I have.
That's why we're here now. And why I have battlements instead of balconies.
May they serve you well.
Varric said that you fought Corypheus before.
Fought and killed. The Grey Wardens were holding him, and he somehow used his connection to the Darkspawn to influence them.
Corypheus got into their heads, messed with their minds, turned them against each other.
If the Wardens have disappeared, they could have fallen under his control again.
If that's what happened to the Wardens, do you think we can free them?
It's possible. But we need to know more first. I've got a friend in the Wardens. He was investigating something unrelated for me. His name is Stroud. The last time we spoke, he was worried about corruption in the Warden ranks. Since then, nothing.
Corypheus would certainly qualify as corruption in the ranks. Did your friend disappear with them?
No. He told me he'd be hiding in an old smuggler's cave near Crestwood.
If you didn't know about Corypheus, what were you doing with the Wardens?
The Templars in Kirkwall were using a strange form of lyrium. It was red. I'd hoped the Wardens could tell me more about it.
Corypheus had Templars with him at Haven. They looked like they'd been exposed to the lyrium you describe.
Hopefully my friend in the Wardens will know more.
I'll take any lead I can get at the moment.
Good. I'll do whatever I can to help. Corypheus is my responsibility. I thought I'd killed him before. This time, I'll make sure of it. Inquisitors.
Да, ну... Я бы предпочла весельчака Хоука.
You said you thought you killed Corypheus.
The Grey Wardens had him imprisoned. They used my father's blood in a ritual to seal Corypheus inside. But he could still reach out and influence the Warden's thoughts. He sent them after me. And I didn't just think I killed him. When the fight was done, he was dead on the ground. Maybe his tie to the blight somehow brought him back. Or maybe it's old Tevinter magic. But he was dead. I swear it.
And where did you go after the mages rebelled?
I heard the Chantry might be sending an exalted march to Kirkwall to put down the rebellion. I hoped that leaving would save lives and force the Divine to divide her forces to come after me. As it turned out, I needn't have bothered. All the circles started rising up, and the exalted march never came.
Varric said you were the champion of Kirkwall. I've only heard a little about what happened there.
What happened at Kirkwall was the same thing that happened everywhere. Fearful of blood magic and abominations, the Templars brutally suppressed the Circle. And in their desperation to survive, the mages of the Circle turned to blood magic, or became abominations. Finally, a rebel mage named Anders destroyed Kirkwall's Chantry, and everything came tumbling down.
I heard that Anders was your friend. What was he like?
I don't know if there ever was just an Anders. He was crazy. By the end, there was nothing left in him except this insane need to start a war no one could win.
Ну, блин, этот Хоук такой мрачный, он мне не нравится. Блин. И чё, мне теперь на плойку покупать все части Dragon Age, чтобы пройти, и чтобы Хоук не был такой какашкой? Фигня.
I heard you had family and friends in Kirkwall. Where are they now?
When the Wardens began acting strangely, I had my friend Aveline take my brother out of the Free Marches. My uncle Gamlen's still in Kirkwall, but everyone else I used to know, they've pretty much scattered to the winds.
Нет.
Varric's been feeding you information about the Inquisition. What did he say about me?
Only good things, I promise. I was a little surprised, actually. Varric isn't one for religion in general, but he thinks highly of the Inquisition.
Dragon Age я считаю вообще своей первой серьезной игрой, так что Не обижай.
We'll talk
Не
later.
обижай Dragon Age.
I'll meet you in Crestwood.
Dragon Age хороший. Не обижай Dragon Age, или я обижу тебя. На самом деле, да. Так. Так.
So, this is Skyhold. Come, let's walk the ramparts. I want to examine our fortifications. We'll be able to see Corypheus coming from miles away.
On the other hand, that means he can see us from miles away.
Let him come. I swear I'll take the twister bastard down, even if I have to die to do it.
I'm not losing anyone to Corypheus, especially not you.
You can't afford to think I'm special. I'm a soldier no different than any soldier lost at Haven. I am fond of you, it's true, but we can't let this go any further. This, whatever you want this to be, is impossible.
Why is it impossible? I know you have feelings for me.
Ой, серьезно? Так быстро?
You're the Inquisitor, the Herald of Andraste. Even now, there are people flocking to your banner ready to serve, to die. We must remain focused on the task at hand.
I'm not throwing my life away because of what they say I am.
I wish it were simple, believe me I do, but it's not. We're both bound by duty. Our lives aren't ours to live. Don't make this harder than it has to be.
Хорошо, что нет. Драма, драма. Больше драмы.
Majestic. How is a place...
Oh.
Scout Harding.
Your worship.
Shouldn't you be out there, scouting?
In a bit. We're in Skyhold for supplies and a change of personnel. Not me, though. Indispensable.
Да, Хоук королева драмы. И Блэквелл тоже королева драмы. Хоук просто... Я не знаю, мне кажется, этот Хоук был бы таким, если проходить вторую часть либо на Добряке, но что все-таки вряд ли, мне кажется, потому что так отзываться об Андерсе, ну, либо на Злюке, который все время кровь, кровь, кишки. Типа... Я не понимаю, я привыкла, что Хоук это такой веселый разбойник, типа... Никогда не видела Хоука как хмурого чувака, который постоянно о чем-то грустит, типа... Ну, ему действительно грустно из-за всего, что случилось с его семьей и с Киркволом в целом, но он не стал бы просто стоять и ныть, типа, ой, как все плохо, ой, типа, нет. Ну, тут Хоук меня так разочаровывает, что я бы даже... Я знаю, что в будущем будет такая возможность оставить его в тени. Я бы оставила его в тени или в тени. Ну, короче, суть не меняет, просто... Но я знаю, что это расстроит Варика, так что... Да. Но Хоук действительно, это такая королева драмы. Боже. Это ужас. Он мне не нравится. В третьей части появился Хоук, который мне не нравится.
So, who's Scout Harding really?
Me? Oh, I'm no one. Lived near Redcliffe all my life. Herded sheep for my neighbor.
When the Inquisition came through my village, I helped by telling them everything I knew about the area. Then I signed on. Wanted to see the world before it was swallowed up by that thing out there.
What's been going on?
Seeker Cassandra came through here, looking like a storm cloud. That's just her face, though, isn't it?
I have to go.
Окей. О, Вивьен.
It was a mistake to use Haven as a base of operations. The town was completely indefensible.
Я надеюсь, что не каждый персонаж, с которым я поговорю, в смысле из спутников, будет отводить меня в какую-то другую часть замка.
It was a bad location. We should have moved sooner.
You left yourself vulnerable to attack. It was a miscalculation, one that I'm sure you won't repeat. But the enemy struck a serious blow against you and the Inquisition. We must recognize that. You must.
So many people are joining this fight. What if I'm only leading them to their deaths?
Death is a part of war, my dear, and a part of life. We cannot escape it. Those who die for the Inquisition give their lives willingly. The alternative is to forfeit all they cherish to these horrors from the sky. Our enemy advances, Inquisitor. We must not sit idly by. Act first and teach them to fear us. You can become the leader the faithful require, but you must do it soon.
Вивьен, вот я даже не знаю, с одной стороны она мне нравится, а с другой стороны как-то не очень, потому что вот представь ситуацию, да? Ты чуть не умер, с тобой случилась какая-то странная штука, у тебя рана на твоей ладони, которая закрывает разрывы, то есть на тебя разом сваливается как-то слишком много всего, и от тебя ждут, что ты будешь действовать быстро, и типа весь такой классный и крутой, но типа ты сам не понимаешь, что происходит. И почему люди от тебя чего-то ждут? Это странно. Вот. Для меня было бы гораздо логичнее, знаешь, если бы Инквизитор такой «Nope», и сбежал в самом начале, типа, или после закрытия бреши. То есть как бы все, дыры в небе нет, теперь я ухожу. Типа, пока там все... Да, пока там все празднуют, что дыра в небе исчезла, ты такой, все, я ухожу. Вы знаете, что будет покушение на императрицу, поэтому давайте предотвращайте, а я пошел. Мне и так нормально, спасибо.
So, Inquisitor, it is Inquisitor. Now, right? Remember that war we talked about stopping? Full of little baddies I can stick with little arrows. That's not a friggin' archdemon, is it? Trust it, what do I step in?
Let me know what she says. I could use some clarification myself.
It's swearing, not praying. She doesn't answer. Not like she's supposed to. I know what happened to you. Or what everyone here thinks happened. It seems... I don't know what it seems.
You're confusing me now. What are you getting at?
Archdemons, real enough, fine. But if that Carifi thing is true, the Magisters really cracked the Black City. It's a hazy dream, right? I mean, if it's real, then the seat of the Maker? Real thing. A seat needs a book, so the Maker? Real thing. Fairy stories about the start and end of the world? Real things. It's too much, isn't it? How pretty are you that I actually think this shite is possible?
I like to hear this. The pretty part, not the overwhelmed by everything part.
Oh sure, don't mind the bung ripped through the heavens, love. Primp and toss and all is well. I want to get everything back to business as usual. A nice simple system with simple problems. Helps me, helps people, helps you. In that order. For now.
Ну, вообще, это персонаж из текстовой ролевой, и, ну, в принципе, как и тот эльф, которого я создала первым, но просто что-то мне за него не зашло. потому что разбойник с кинжалами и, в принципе, ну, то есть, ты берешь либо мага, либо лучника. В другом случае персонаж становится жутко немобильным и... фигня. Ну, типа, пока ты добегаешь до врага, ты буквально становишься мишенью. И в это время персонаж, который может вести дальний бой, просто такой убивает его. Так что я переделала, взяла другого своего персонажа. Да. Это Далила. Да, она черная. Типа. Такая же черная, как твой юмор.
You're starting to not sound completely crazy.
I know, scary, innit? Until next time, my Lady Herald.
Да. Так. Блин, мне надо посмотреть карту, походу. Скайхолд такой большой. А, вот тут Кассандра, Сэра. Фу, блин. Тут такой перенос строк в комментарии, что мне показалось, что ты заговорил про третьего моего персонажа. Я подумала просто, откуда ты про него знаешь? Просто у меня есть рыжий демон, которого зовут Дэй, и я подумывала еще о том, чтобы создать его. Ну, не, у нас для всего этого будут разные персонажи. В случае Далилы мы просто, типа, пытаемся собрать все в кучку. Ну и немножечко флиртуем. Вивиан. Блин, так неудобно. В убежище было удобно, потому что я... привыкла к тому, где кто находится, а здесь как-то все такое большое и сложное, к этому придется долго привыкать. Так, пошли искать Кассандру. Вот где она? Она где-то на стене, а не, вот она. Пышет гневом. Ну, боже, что... О.
You knew where Hawk was all along.
Damn right I did.
You conniving little shit.
You kidnapped me. You interrogated me. What did you expect?
Так, я хочу на это посмотреть.
I expected you to tell the truth. I told you what was at stake.
So I just had to go over on your say-so? It's okay, Hawk. This zealot isn't crazy. I promise.
Look at her. She's finally lost it.
Это чисто семейная ссора.
This would be funny if it wasn't also kind of sad.
We needed someone to lead this Inquisition. Hawk was our only hope. He was the champion of Kirkwall. The mages respected him. And you kept him from us.
Чисто неодобрение от обоих прилетело.
What would have been at the conclave if anyone could have saved Most Holy?
You've made your point!
Varric is a liar, Inquisitor. A snake. Even after the conclave, when we needed Hawke most, Varric kept him secret.
He's with us now. We're on the same side.
We all know whose side you're on, Varric. It will never be the Inquisition's.
You don't need to tell me that.
Oh, like I have no reasons to help the Inquisition finish.
Ай, блин, я не это хотела.
Fine. For the moment, I'd like to do what I can.
I must not think of what could have been. We have so much at stake. Go, Varric. Just go.
Ну, блин.
You know what I think? If Hawke had been at the temple, he'd be dead too. You people have done enough to him.
Ну, блин, типа, да.
He spun his story for me and I swallowed it. If I just explained what was at stake, if I just made him understand. But I didn't, did I? I didn't explain why we needed Hawke. I'm such a fool.
Типа, я тоже хотела это высказать, что просто вот посмотрите на нас. Просто мы выпали из тени и нас втянули во что-то, чего мы не понимаем. Просто да. В этот раз я прям облажалась. Но посмотреть на них это было потрясающе. О, боже. Мне кажется, я ни в одно прохождение не буду их останавливать, просто чтобы...
What if you hadn't believed him and you tracked Hawke down?
Honestly, Hawke might not even have agreed to become Inquisitor. He
Вот я об
supported the
этом.
Mage Rebellion after all. He wouldn't have trusted me for a second. But this isn't about Hawke or even Varric. Not truly. I should have been more careful. I should have been smarter. I don't deserve to be here.
You're too hard on yourself, Cassandra.
Not hard enough, I think.
You can't believe that.
I want you to know, I have no regrets. Maybe if we'd found Hawke, the Maker wouldn't have needed to send you. But he did. You're not what I'd pictured. But if I've learned anything, it's that I know less than nothing.
Окей. Где Варик? Окей, давайте еще поговорим с Кассандрой.
Something is troubling me, Inquisitor. Leliana is receiving reports of mages becoming possessed, Templars going rogue. No one is dealing with these matters. I was hoping we might, before they get worse.
We can certainly look into it.
I will mark these incidents on the map as I learn of them, Inquisitor. And I would be pleased to accompany you if and when you investigate.
Do you have any advice for me?
Treat Dorian with caution. It's possible he could be what he seems. A Tevinter mage wishing to do better than his countrymen. What if he is not? At best, his presence makes the Inquisition appear to have questionable allies.
That's enough for now.
Another time, then.
Так. Я хочу знать, где Варик. Мне надо извиниться. Так, ну сначала Каллен. Здесь у нас Блэкволл, с которым пока не будем говорить. Жозефина, здесь Лилиана. Вот он, Варик. Типа, блин. Ай. Я совершенно понимаю нежелание Варика говорить о том, где Хоук. Ну, это понятно, потому что, типа, Хоука еще в это втягивать. Дай прийти. Шо тут наш кудряш?
Yes, sir.
Commander, soldiers have been assigned temporary quarters.
Very good. I'll need an update on the armory as well. Now! We set up as best we could at Haven, but could never prepare for an archdemon, or whatever it was. With some warning, we might have...
Do you ever sleep?
If Corypheus strikes again, we may not be able to withdraw. And I wouldn't want to. We must be ready. Work on Skyhold is underway. Guard rotations established. We should have everything on course within the week. We will not run from here, Inquisitor.
How many were lost?
Most of our people made it to Skyhold. It could have been worse. Morale was low, but it's improved greatly since you accepted the role of Inquisitor.
Everyone has so much faith in my leadership. I hope I'm ready.
You won't have to carry the Inquisition alone, although it must feel like. We needed a leader. You have proven yourself.
Thank you, Cullen. Our escape from Haven, it was close. I'm relieved that so many made it out.
As am I.
Да, я чисто буду делать это со всеми, потому что я могу.
You stayed behind. You could have... I will not allow the events at Haven to happen again. You have my word. Yes?
Is there anything I should know?
Repairs to Skyhold's fortifications are progressing. Our scouts report no immediate threats in the surrounding area. We are fortunate Solus knew of this place.
That's all for now.
Я не буду пока развивать с ним разговор. Так. Поищем. О, Кол.
This thing is not a stray puppy you can make into a pet. It has no business being here.
Wouldn't you say the same of an apostate?
Inquisitor, I wondered if Cole was perhaps a mage, given his unusual abilities.
He can cause people to forget him, or even fail entirely to notice him. These are not the abilities of a mage. It seems that Cole is a spirit.
It is a demon.
If you prefer,
Ну нет.
although the truth is somewhat more complex.
I'm not sure how much more complexity I need, Solus.
Indeed, my dear. He may call it whatever he likes, but it is still a threat.
In fact, his nature is not so easily defined.
Speak plainly, Solas. What are we dealing with?
Demons normally enter this world by possessing something. In their true form, they look bizarre, monstrous.
But you claim Cole looks like a young man. Is it possession?
No. He has possessed nothing and no one. And yet he appears human in all respects. Cole is unique, Inquisitor. More than that, he wishes to help. I suggest you allow him to do so.
What do you mean by possession?
Spirits and demons cross over from the Fade by attaching themselves to something in this world. But Cole has willfully manifested in human form without possessing anyone.
The demons who came through the breach, or through the rifts, weren't possessing anything.
These demons were drawn through against their will, driven mad by this world.
But Cole predates the breach. From what we can tell, he has lived here for months, perhaps years. He looks like a young man. For all intents and purposes, he is a young man. It is remarkable.
I should hear what Cole has to say for himself. Where is he now?
If none of us remember him, he could be anywhere.
Только что был здесь, и вон он там уже. Все время от времени пританцовывают.
So many soldiers fought to protect the pilgrims so they could escape. Choking fear. Can't think from the medicine, but the cuts rack me with every heartbeat. Hot, white pain. Everything burns. I can't. I'm going to... I'm... dead.
You're feeling their pain?
It's louder this close, with so many of them.
Would you like to go somewhere more comfortable?
Yes, but here is where I can help. Every breath slower, like lying in a warm bath, sliding away. Smell of my daughter's hair when I kiss her goodnight. Gone. Cracked brown pain, dry, scraping, thirsty. Here.
Thank you.
It's all right. She won't remember me.
Solus tried to explain what you are, but honestly, I stopped listening after a while. Any chance you could explain it?
Yes. I used to think I was a ghost. I didn't know. I made mistakes, but I made friends too. Then a Templar proved I wasn't real. I lost my friends. I lost everything. I learned how to be more like what I am. It made me different, but stronger. I can feel more. I can help.
If you're willing, the Inquisition could use your help.
Yes, helping. I help the hurt. The helpless. There's someone. Hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Someone make it stop hurting. Make her, please. The healers have done all they can. It will take him hours to die. Every moment will be agony. He wants mercy. Help.
You say he won't die for hours yet, but you can't know that for certain.
His body is failing.
He could recover, or the healers could find another way to help him.
How do you know?
I don't, and neither do you. That's part of life.
Try. I want to stay.
Inquisitor, is there something I can do for you? I should really focus my attention on the injured.
Do we have many injured men?
Fewer by the day. The most grievously injured did not survive the journey to Skyhold. As for the rest, they either heal or... I try to make the passing painless.
I haven't seen you before.
The commander brought me up from the refugee camps. I'd been helping the pilgrims in simple ways. Setting broken bones, simple amputations and such. We need all the help we can get.
You aren't a mage. Shouldn't we let the mage healers deal with this?
Magic can't cure everything, and we shouldn't rely on it. Science, your worship, is the way of the future. Good health isn't magic, it's diet, exercise, and a balance of the humors.
As you were.
Your worship.
Так. Так, нам надо поговорить с Вариком и еще Лилианой. И там будем думать, что делать дальше. Так, это выход. Значит, нам туда. Нет. Я не буду убивать всех. Типа... Нет. Не сейчас, по крайней мере. Но я обязательно это сделаю. У меня одно из прохождений будет чисто в стиле «Ненавидите меня? Давайте, ненавидьте». Но пока мы типа ок. Нормально.
Cassandra's calmed down. I think you can take your hand off your crossbow.
Define calm down for me in terms of who or what she's punching right now. I wasn't trying to keep secrets. I told the Inquisition everything that seemed important at the time.
You could have told us about Corypheus sooner.
I found out he was involved at exactly the same time you did. Until he showed up at Haven, I thought he was dead. Nothing we saw at the summit made me think he'd been there. I know I need to do better. I'm sorry.
Да... Погоди, чё ты так...
Corypheus is back. Oh, shit.
You said he was a Darkspawn, or a Magister. What is he really?
I'm not sure. I don't think Corypheus really knows either. He's definitely a Darkspawn, but when we found him, it was pretty obvious he hadn't heard that. He thinks he's a Magister, a priest of Dumat, in fact. He says he broke into the Golden City, like in the Chantry tale.
Honestly, I'd rather fight an ancient Darkspawn with a pet archdemon than deal with that hole in the sky. At least you can kill Darkspawn.
We didn't just think Corypheus was dead. He was dead. No pulse, no breath, full of stab wounds. There wasn't a lot of room for doubt. It makes me wonder. I thought the Wardens imprisoned Corypheus to use him. Maybe they did it because he can't be killed.
How did you and Hawk even wind up in a Grey Warden prison for ancient Darkspawn?
Corypheus sent people after Hawk. He actually got control of an entire Carta clan. Made them drink Darkspawn blood. Weird shit. We tracked the Carta to an old dwarven fort or something in the mountains. Of course, it turned out to be a trap. They needed Hawk's blood to open the locks holding Corypheus, and they drew us into the prison to get it.
Nothing is unkillable.
I'm not so sure about that. Do the things in the Fade really die? Maker's breath, what have I let loose?
You had nothing to do with this, Varric.
I was the one who led Hawk to Corypheus. If I hadn't tracked the Carta to that ruin. But you've got more important things to do than listen to me worry. Just let me know when you want something shot.
Нет, я хочу еще поговорить с Вариком. Варик, типа, наш дружбан с прошлой части.
Need something?
What can you tell me about this Corypheus?
I'm not exactly an expert, but ask away and I'll answer what I can.
How did you first encounter him?
A few years back, I was dealing with some trouble from a Carta clan that went rogue. They were sending assassins after the Hawk family. We We tracked them to a rune in the Vimarks. It turned out to be a trap. Once you went far enough into the rune, there was a magic barrier that kept you from going back. The whole thing was a prison the Grey Wardens were using to hold what they thought was a powerful darkspawn.
I've never heard of Wardens locking up Darkspawn. Why wouldn't they just kill him and be done with it?
I don't think they could. From what we saw in there, Corypheus can control Wardens somehow. They couldn't attack him. The Wardens locked him up because there was nothing else they could do.
На самом деле все вопросы — это просто расширенная версия того, что мы уже слышали.
He looks like some sort of blighted creature, but he speaks. What is he exactly?
The Wardens who imprisoned him thought he was just a darkspawn. But you heard him ranting. He claims he's a Magister. One who assaulted the Golden City, what, more than 1,000 years ago? It seems crazy, but if he's telling the truth, he's one of the people who caused the blights.
You and Hawk both said before he was supposed to be dead.
He was dead. We killed him. The only way for us to escape the prison Corypheus was trapped in was to go through him. We weren't going to just leave the door to his prison open behind us and hope he was dead. We made sure.
All right. I think that's enough about Corypheus.
No problem.
Так, окей, теперь...
Need something?
Нет. Так, как подняться к Лилиане? Ух ты. Вау. Найс. Типа... Теперь каждое важное событие будет дополняться фреской. Мне нравится. Так, Лилиана. Не, сегодня уже не будем надирать жопы. Мы поговорим, проведем суд, я думаю. И все на сегодня.
The names of those we lost. You must blame me for this.
We all saw who attacked us. We know exactly who to blame.
I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have bought us more time. I was afraid to lose my agents. And instead, we lost Haven.
More likely, they would have stayed out there, died, and we would have lost Haven anyway.
You don't know that. Their lives could have bought Haven a small chance. My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives.
Our people aren't tools to be used and discarded. Your instincts were right. Their lives matter.
Can we afford such sentimentality? What if Corypheus...
We're better than Corypheus.
Да, Лилиана такая мрачная, конечно, в этой части.
Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
You're always looking for some way to benefit, aren't you?
It's what I'm here for. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. She was a good friend, and it will take time to get used to her absence. But thank you for asking. It is appreciated.
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Elysian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
I'll leave you to your work.
Так, здесь кто-то хочет дать нам задание. Но это где-то в саду. Окей, суд. Суд так суд. Вороны. Птички. Хм. Так. Хорошо. Блин, тут не разберешься, где лестница иной раз. Боевки сегодня не будет, но, возможно, мы кого-нибудь казним. Так что...
Impressive, is it not? Fit for a leader, meant to show influence and the burden of it. It is where the Inquisition will sit in judgment. Where you will sit in judgment.
Who will I be judging exactly?
Those who have done wrong. You will know of them, at the very least. All this presumes they have survived their initial encounter with you, of course.
Will we be taking heads right here in the hall?
Goodness, no! If such an option is available, it will be done elsewhere. And it may not be necessary. The Inquisition's sovereignty is derived from the allies who validate it. You are both empowered and bound. Justice has many tools. If their application is clever, execution may even seem merciful by comparison.
Что ж...
Is there anyone I should judge?
Take the throne when you're ready. We will bring him before.
Страшно. Уф.
You recall Gerion Alexius of Tevinter. Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination, on your own life, no less. Tevinter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former Magister as you see fit.
I remember what would have happened to Thedas if his treachery had succeeded.
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Will you offer nothing more in your defense?
You've won nothing. The people you saved, the acclaim you've gathered. You'll lose it all in the storm to come. Render your judgment, Inquisitor.
Я тебя слышу. Ну, оставлять его свободным явно не стоит. Мне интересно, этот вариант включает усмирение? М. Окей, он опасен, так что... Типа, это трата ресурсов. Это опасно. И это опасно. Как-нибудь в следующий раз.
You served a monster, Alexius. There's nothing more to be said. You'll die now by my hand. Again.
What do you mean? Again? Inquisitor! Did the spell work?
Фух. М.
So, Alexius is dead. All the good he once stood for, his integrity, his beliefs. He betrayed them all. I won't say he didn't deserve death. I just wish there'd been another way.
Dorian, there's a letter you need to see.
A letter? Is it a naughty letter? A humorous proposal from some Antivan dowager?
Not quite. It's from your father.
From my father? I see. And what does Magister Hallward want, pray tell?
A meeting.
Show me this letter.
I know my son? What my father knows of me would barely fill a thimble. This is so typical.
I'm willing to bet this retainer is a henchman, hired to knock me on the head and drag me back to Tevinter.
You think your father would actually do that?
No, although I wouldn't put it past him. Let's go. Let's meet this so-called family retainer. If it's a trap, we escape and kill everyone. You're good at that. If it's not, I send the man back to my father with the message that he can stick his alarm in his wit's end.
There seems to be bad blood between you and your family.
Interesting turn of phrase. But you're correct. They don't care for my choices, nor I for theirs.
Because you wouldn't get married? Because you left?
That too.
I think you should meet with this retainer. Find out what your family wants.
I didn't ask what you thought, did I? That was unworthy, I apologize. There'd be no harm in hearing what this man of my father's has to say. If I don't like it, however, I want to leave.
That works for me.
I wonder how much my father paid this man to wait around just in case I showed. We'll find out soon enough.
Окей, на этом все. Иди спать, и я пойду.